In this tutorial, we'll be covering the C and the G chords. We'll start with C. So this is on page 47, the back of your book. It's the chord chart. We're looking at the middle column again, and we're going to start with the C chord. Notice right away that there is an X over that sixth string. That means we will not strum that sixth string. Okay, and just to review, we're going to go finger, 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 1, 2, 3 in order to learn the placement. So I'm going to walk you through it. Your first finger is going to go on this second string, first fret. So that's here. Remember, on the far left, if you're looking at this diagram, is your sixth string. And on the far right is your first string. Remember that zeros mean open strings, so you're going to strum everything except for the X, but you'll be pressing only on one with 1, 2, 3 on strings 2, 4, and 5, respectively. So first finger is going to go on the second string, first fret. Your second finger will go on the fourth string, second fret, and your third finger will go in the fifth string, third fret. So that's what it looks like if you translate, remember, like that, okay? Pinky is out of the way. So you want to memorize that, and then we're going to play through it. On this chord, because we are not playing the sixth string, you're going to strum from the fifth string down toward the ground. Now I can use my thumb, remember, or I could use my index finger for a brighter sound. I could pretend like I'm holding a pick, but I'd like you to not use a pick yet, since we're learning to use fingers for fingerstyle playing, and then later on in the session we're going to be using a pick, of course. So there's the C chord. Notice with my fingers I'm trying to be right up against that fret wire, because again, if I'm in the back of the fret, I start to get that terrible rattle. So we want to be just behind the next fret wire. Now, if you don't get a clear sound, remember, don't worry about it. It's going to take a couple weeks for you to get a clear sound with all of your chords. Remember that you do want to play right on the tips of the fingers, not on the flat part. Tips of the fingers. You want to have your thumb behind the neck so that you are using that thumb to squeeze. It's better not to have it over here, because then you're not taking advantage of this strong muscle of your thumb by pinching. So ideally, remember, we want that thumb to be behind the neck so that we're using that to squeeze or pinch the neck. That's how we're going to get the clearest sound. So that's what your C should sound like. I'm trying to show that my fourth finger is out of the way. But normally when I'm playing a C, my fourth finger is just kind of curled up but relaxed out of the way. So it may look in the video like I'm pressing this one down, but I am not. If you look to the side, it looks like that. Okay, so that's your C chord. You want to memorize that. And remember, the three things that you're memorizing are where the fingers go, what the name of the chord is, of course, and how many strings to strum with the right hand. There's the C. Okay, the next one we'll look at is at the bottom of the page, and it is the G. Now, one thing I want to point out is that all of these middle chords, A, C, D, E, G, are simply major chords. How do I know that? Well, it is understood in music that if you just say play an A chord or play a C chord, you mean A major, C major. That's the most common way that you'll play that chord. Everything else, A minor, A7, you have to specify. So if you want someone to play an A minor, you have to say A minor. That little M stands for minor. Or A7. If you just say play an A chord, musicians know that means A major. Let's go to G. G has a tricky fingering, but I'm going to give you an alternative fingering which most people find to be more comfortable at first. You may learn them and should learn them both ways eventually, but I'll let you choose what you want to do for now. Okay, the book shows this: fifth string, second fret, sixth string, third fret, and first string, third fret, with fingers 2, 3, 4. So the way they're showing it is 2, 3, 4. All right. Now that's a big reach for most people between that third and fourth finger. Because there are no X's, you will strum all 6 strings or index finger. Okay. If you can do it this way, it has some advantages which we'll talk about later. The other way to do it is you're going to have your fingers in the same locations, of course, but now instead of 2, you'll use your first finger. Instead of 3, you'll use your second finger. And instead of 4, you'll use your third finger. So it would look like this. First finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret. Second finger in the 6th string, 3rd fret. And third finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret. It's the same chord, just a different fingering. So the first way was this. Second way is same locations, just different fingers. Most people find this way to be more comfortable. So if you'd like to do it that way, that is fine. That's your G chord. Again, you're going to strum all 6. Okay. Again, as with the C chord, you want to memorize the shape, whether you're doing it this way or this way. That means where the fingers go, how many strings to strum, and of course, the name of the chord. You want to know the names of your chords so that when you play with other people, if they call out a chord or they tell you this song goes C, G, D, you don't have to look up what those chords are. You know that this is C, this is G, this is D. All right.